Hi guys, welcome to this video. So in this video we are going to see what are all the tools available under the pattern section and what are all the types of pattern available in the Creo parametric. So let's see deeply in this video. Already I have posted a video based on basic tools whichever are available in this Creo software, but on that I can't able to explain in deep about the pattern tool. Okay, so this maybe like a full tutorial video for the pattern tool, and I'll try to cover up everything in this video. Okay, so let's get started. First of all, so for implementing the pattern tool, I'm just going to create one part like our unit parts already ABS. Yeah, so for implementing the pattern tool, I just want to create some pattern, right? So let me just create a center rectangle like this. Let's keep this like any values, right? Just for the practice purpose, 100, and let's extrude this for the value of 50, and yes, symmetric extrude. Okay, so then for the pattern tool, let me just create one more circular extrude on the surface, so that will be very easy for us to identify what are all the different tools that we are going to evolve right now. Okay, so extrude this. Okay, that's 6 is fine. Yeah, so first of all, what is kind of pattern tool? So we can see this pattern is not highlighted in right now because we just have to select the part whichever we should use the pattern tool, right? So we have to select the part which we are going to use for the pattern tool, then we have to go for the pattern. Okay, so first of all, what is pattern? We can multiply the part, for reducing the time consumption. We can create this particular circular extrude into the full surface, right? So we can if we need to create one more, two more circles on this edge, on that edge, you have to go for the sketch again, and you have to create the circle, and you have to extrude that, and you have to enter the extrude value, so then we can able to create this one single circle, right? Whether you can create both the circles in a single sketch, but it is very hard to create multiple parts. So that is where the pattern tool is used. Okay, so for the single or for the two or three patterns, you can use mirror. For the multiple, more than 3 or more than 4, we can use the pattern tool. Okay, so at first let's select the extrude, and we can directly go for the pattern. So inside that, we have geometry pattern and pattern table. So I think everything is similar. So first of all, let me focus on this pattern tool right now. Okay, so this is the main part where everyone will use this. Okay, so first of all, pattern. So when we enter into the pattern, you can see we have to select the pattern type. Okay, so let's see what are all the types whichever is available on this pattern tool. You can see dimension pattern, direction pattern, axis pattern, fill pattern, table, reference, curve, and point. Okay, so these are all the types of pattern available in this Creo parametric. Okay, so first of all, what is dimension pattern? So dimension, when you go for the dimension, other than when we go for the axis pattern, you can see there is nothing in this, where is our extrude, because we just have selected this extrude. So when you go for this dimension, you can be able to see the extruded part whichever we are going to pattern it, and you can see the dimension. You can see this is 6 diameter and this is 6 height of the extrude, right? So you can be able to see the dimension. Why we can be able to see the dimension? So this is a kind of when it comes to the dimension pattern, you can see this is not a dimension, this is a kind of direction. Okay, so first of all, the first direction is nothing but the first value whichever we are going to select, either this or either this. Okay, so let me just go for this. Okay, so this is the first direction here. Either if you want to change this, edit this, you can edit this, but I don't want this. This 6 is fine for me, so I'm just going to press enter here. So now you can see the first direction, one item has been selected. Okay, so now we can be able to edit the number of members for the first direction, but you can't be able to edit this for the second direction. As you can see, we have to click, we have to add the item. So for that second direction, I'm just going to click here, and I'm just going to select either definitely you should have to select this, but if you have multiple things to do with this, because this is a circle, right? So only one thing that we have is like this diameter and the height. When you go for the rectangles or when you go for the squares, you may have like four-sided dimensions here, right? Either like for the square you just have only two dimensions, height and the like width, but for the rectangle it will be different. Like, so we have to select the first and second direction. That's the main thing here. Okay, so the next thing is like we just have to select the second direction here. So I'm just going to select this, and if you need to edit this, you can edit this. I don't want to edit this. I'm just going to directly click on enter. Okay, so you can see we can edit the numbers. As for the both, you can see this is like now editable right now. So for the first direction, like the number of members is 2. Okay, so let me just go for the minimum number of 3, and here 3. Like I just have pressed the enter button, and let's click on OK. So now you can see our small extrude part has become like 3 times bigger, right? How it is 3 times bigger? You can see like this. This is the first part here. So 1, 2, and 3. So this is the first direction, and towards the up, like you can see 1, 2, and 3. So now you can able to like you can analyze something like what is the kind of dimension pattern here. So let me just go for that again, and now we can go with some big number. So for we can able to identify the variations here, right? Because it is 3, 3, so you don't know like which is 3 and which is 3. So this is the first direction here. So this circular part will be the first direction. I'm just going to increase the width, so I'm just going to enter the member as you can see here, like I'm just going to enter the value of 8 here. And for the height, like if you need to multiply this, I'm just going to move on with the value of 4. So now we can able to identify the difference. Let's click on OK. So now you can see here, you can see the small waves in here. So that's nothing but the multiply right here. So you can see like we have entered the first direction value as a value of 8, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, so and for the top we have entered the value of 4. So you can see 1, 2, 3, and 4. So this is the base value, so we don't want to count that. Okay, so this is the floor plane, right? So this is how this dimension pattern will work. Okay, so let's go for the one more example here. I'm just going to reduce this to 2, and here let's have 10. So now what will be the result? Okay, so the first direction will be this 6. So we just have entered a value of 2. So like it will be multiplied by like one time, like, because this will be considered as 1 and one more time here. But here the direction 2, like this 6 will be multiplied by the 10, like including this 2. So I think we may accept this like tower like structure, right? So you can see, so this is the result. Like I said before, everything is perfect here. Like, okay, so let me just select this, and now you can able to see 1, 2. So this is the first direction here, and for the second thing, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and 7, 8. Okay, that's all. Okay, so I think there's okay, whichever, like we have entered a value of 10, right? Okay, sorry. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, that's all. So that's all, guys. So this is called as the dimension pattern. So let me just delete this pattern. Oops, sorry. Just deleted the extrude. Oh yeah. Okay. So this is known as the dimension pattern. So the next pattern here we have is direction pattern. So I think you guys have experienced previously, like if you are watching my videos before, you can able to understand what is direction pattern. Like I have previously explained like many more times. So let me explain for the one more time. So the direction pattern is like we have to decide the direction, in which direction our part is going to be patterned. Okay, so either it may be straight, right, left, something else. Okay, so let's see the first example here. So when we go for the direction pattern, you can able to see that there is 2 direction here. So on the dimension you can see the direction, but that's different. Here it is different. Okay, so here it will be like first direction and second direction. So here for the first direction we have to select the item. So I'm just going to select this direction. Either if you are enough with this single direction, you can directly just click on OK, and you can enter other values, and you can just click OK. And if you want to change the direction, you can go for the second direction. Okay, so okay, let's see. So first of all, let's see the first direction thing. So we just have selected this edge for our first direction. So anyways, like here, like this ways or like this way, our pattern part is going to be patterned. Okay, so in this direction, I'm just going to change, like we can able to change by using this arrow mark. Okay, oops, sorry, I just wow. Okay, okay, good. I think I just have some issue with my mouse. Let me just remove this. Okay, so for the first thing, like we have to select this one, like any kind of thing. You can able to select the surface also. Okay, so first of all, like this line, reference line, that will be easy for us. Okay, so this line you can like flip this. Okay, so you can flip by using this, but either you can also flip this by dragging like this. Okay, sorry, I forgot about that. I'm just clicking on this arrow mark. Okay, so you can directly like hold on your mouse button and you can able to change the direction like this, or else you can directly click this flip button here, either towards this direction or towards opposite direction. So towards this direction, okay, that's our goal. Okay, so now I'm just going to have a member of like 1 2 3, how many patterns you want to have here. Like I'm just going to have 4, and the next one is spacing, like whichever spacing, like between two parts, right? So that will be the main thing. So we have a 6 diameter, so another 6, like it will be like midpoint to midpoint. So I think 6 is enough, but let's see. Okay, so if we directly click on OK, you can see the 4 parts has been created, like we calculated before, like midpoint to midpoint it will be like 6. Okay, so this is how the direction pattern will be. Okay, so let me just go for the second direction here. So this is how, like you can add, or you can like add any kind of spacing here. Like you can add for a value of 12, and if you click on OK, you can see like this direct, like this value has been changed here. Okay, so let me just go for the value of 3, and here it will be like 8. Okay, okay, good. So now for the second direction, okay, so this is fine, but I'm just going to pattern on the other side also. Okay, so for second direction, I'm just going to click on this direction. Once you click on this direction, these 3 patterns will be copied on the other side. Okay, okay, let me just move here. Okay, so by this you can like multiply your patterns here. Okay, so now I'm just going to number of patterns as same 3. Okay, same 3, and spacing also same 8. Okay, so now I think you guys can able to understood, like one single part, like we have multiplied into 6 parts, right? Like this one single extrude has been patterned into 6 numbers. So how we have done this? By first we have used the first direction by using like 3 members we have patterned with the spacing of 8. So then I just added the second direction. After adding the second direction, the first direction patterned parts will be added to the second direction. So right, I think you guys have understood about this. So for this axis pattern, like I'm going to show some separate example for that. Okay, so for this, in this square, like if we do some this axis pattern, like it will be like difficult. Okay, so let me go back, or else like let's change our shape of this part. Okay, okay, like anyway we can start up. Okay, delete front plane, sketch view. So here I'm just going to draw a circle. Okay, anyways, 20 symmetric. Okay, good. So now if we create a circular part, you can see like definitely like we will have some axis. So for the pattern parts, like I'm just going to create one extrude here, like yeah, here, like the same as 6 of 6. Okay, good. So this is the part we are going to pattern for the axis pattern. So the next thing is like we have to select this, and we have to go for the pattern, and now we have to go for the axis, and let's select this axis. Now we can able to see, once we select our axis, you can see the number of members and angle between the members. So if by keep the number of members as 6, you can see there is only 4 parts highlighted here, but we have entered a number of member as 6 here because we have just given a value of like angle between members is 90. So 1 and 1, like they have some distance, like this degree will be 90. Either you can change this like 360 divided by the number of members. So now you can see this is got equally splitted. But if you don't have much time for this, like when we go for this 20, like you don't want to calculate all the time while doing this, just click on this 360 and it will be automatically calculated equally spaced. Okay, so then directly click on OK. So now you can see this part has been patterned here. Okay, so this is how you can use this axis pattern. So next thing is I'm just going to, okay, good. So now the next pattern here we are going to see is fill pattern. Okay, so for the fill, I have some separate idea for putting some separate individual video for the fill tool, because I just have to work on it. I'm just like it is like a little bit hard than the other. Okay, so like I have to concentrate more on that, and I will put some separate video on the next video. Okay, so we'll see that fill and including table. Okay, so this both will be on the separate video on the next video on the tomorrow right now. Okay, so the next thing is curve. So once you go for the curve, you can see like the reference has been highlighted here. So we have to define something on our sketch, and like we have to select the sketch, right? So first of all, the curve, like let's define this. Okay, so let's define this. I'm just going to select the surface. Let's sketch up this like the curve is nothing but the pathway of our pattern. Okay, so okay, you can see like this is the center point where our part has been. Okay, so from here my part is going to be like this, and like this, and like this, like this, like this, and like this. Okay, and then like on the cross side here you can have all your dimension, like you can adjust all those dimension here. And once you click here, you can see the single part that has been come along the way on the way that you have created right now. So that's the sketch, so that's the curve, right? You can pattern the particular extruded part with your own pathway. You can create a like pathway for this. Okay, so for this pathway, like we have done the sketch, but for the spacing we have to give it separately. So either like this will be 6, so 6, so we can give it as an 8. Okay, so once you click on OK, you can see the part has been patterned on the line that we have created, so that will be called as curved. Okay, so the next thing, the final thing that we have right now is whatever like point. Okay, so reference I'll tell you. Okay, the point. So once you go into the point, you can see like the same, the reference has been highlighted here. Either you can go on with your like a datum point, but here the like most of them will use from sketch, because we can't able to use a datum point. Excuse me. Like if you go for the point pattern, like most of them will be like the selected points. Like I just want to keep this pattern part like 100 mm away from this, and from here, from the center plane it should be 50, and from the old extruded part it should be like 10, 100, like something like that. So we have to place a point where we have to get our patterned part, right? So for that we want to mostly use like this datum point. Okay, so we can directly go for the sketch, reference, define. Let's select our surface, sketch, and let's go for the sketch here. So here we got our part, whichever it is created on the. Okay, so here on the point tool, the most common mistake like everyone will do is we will commonly select this point tool. Let me see this. Okay, if we keep all these points like here, all these points, like I have to have this pattern tool, like pattern extruded part. Okay, if you click on OK, you can see like everything is freezed here, because this is not a point. So this is just okay. So let me just go for the reference, edit. Okay, so select all. Okay, this can't be deleted. Okay, so let's go one more time here. Oh yeah, pattern, point, reference, define, surface, sketch view. Okay, so because this is not the point, okay, so this is the point, like it's like a constructive mode point. Okay, this will be occurred on your part when you are doing extruded things, but after that it will be got erased because this is not the exact point tool which you are using. Okay, so you can see create a construction point, like when you go for this pointer you can able to see create a construction point. This is just a construction point. You know why, like what is the construction mode and why we are using the construction mode, right? So this is like kind of that. So this is not exact point, and for the point, the real point is this one. Okay, so this is the exact point. Even though if you have assembled all the parts, if you are doing 100 parts and if you are going to use this point on all the parts, at the final of the assembly also you can able to visible all these points. Okay, so this is the point, like we have to use all the time. If you are going to use the point for the constructive mode, you can directly go for this. Okay, so let's keep this point here, point here, point here, point here, like this. Okay, like a random points, random places where we have to get our parts here, and you can adjust all this dimension wherever you want to keep these parts away. And let's click on OK. Once you click here, you can see all the parts, all the points whichever you keep on the surface has been highlighted here. Okay, so these are the locations where our parts need to be get extruded. Okay, so if you just click on the OK button, you can able to see our part has been patterned here. So I hope you guys guys have got some idea about this pattern tool, and whatever I kept here is this reference. Okay, so let me just go for this and go back. Yeah, okay, I don't know like whether this will be okay. Control is set. First of all, let me just go for the axis pattern. Okay, axis pattern, select this axis, and I'm just going to keep this number as 60 bro, and equally spaced. Okay, and now you can see this is got done, right? So where is our first part here? So this is our first part. Okay, so on this part I'm just going to add some one more thing here, like okay, like this, and this will be 2, and let's extrude this. Okay, let's extrude this, or yeah, anyway, like remove material feature. Okay, so I'm just going to add this feature on the previously patterned part. Okay, so let's select the extrude and let's go for the pattern tool, and let's go for the dimension. Okay, like here we can't able to find the reference. Okay, sorry, I think this is not the host part whichever it is created. Oh yeah, okay, yeah, that's all. Oh yep, I think, yeah, so sorry guys, I forgot about that. We have to select the sketch first of all, and then we have to select this. Okay, good. Either let's group this and let's try this. Yep, we can, because we can't able to directly select the extrude, right? Because we are doing the sketch after the extrude. If you are directly going to do extrude, that's fine, because we have done separate sketch and then we have extruded that. You can directly go for the extrude, and if you are selected the surface, this is finally done. Okay, so this is the reference tool, so we just have grouped them, or else like okay, so for your thing, I'm just going to turn directly with this extrude circle, sorry, which is the midpoint here. Oops. Okay, this will be 2, done. Okay, extrude, that's fine. Okay, where is this? Hide this. So pattern, so now we can see we directly got our reference here. So reference is nothing but this Creo will automatically analyze our previous pattern tool. Okay, so it will try to give the reference part, but if you don't want to get this, you can go for the directions or axis or fill or anything. Okay, so the reference tool will be available once you done something on the patterned part which you have done previously. Okay, So we like there is no option here, like we don't want to select anything, so we can directly just click on OK, and now you can see we don't have, like we haven't entered any number of members or spacing anything here. We just have clicked the reference, and you can see this is how cute, like this is aligned here, right? So that's all guys, like I just have covered everything here. So the next thing is like I will upload videos based on the fill pattern on the table pattern. Okay, so and you guys like come on, like you can guys keep supporting me, and if you have any doubts related this Creo parametric, or if you are willing to get some new like training based on any kind of software, you can comment below so that I will analyze and I will study more about that, and I will teach you guys. Okay, so thank you guys, like we will see in the next video with a very interesting content. Until then, bye.